We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some interesting news regarding former WWE Women's Division star Eva Marie. Now, as most of you are likely aware, Eva Marie had briefly returned to WWE a couple of years ago in 2021, although her run was certainly pretty short, and she was once again released within the year, with it quickly becoming clear that WWE did not have any major plans for Eva Marie in the women's division, or they simply could not find a suitable, worthwhile role for Eva Marie. However, Eva has not ruled out ever returning to WWE in the future, because this is what Marie had to say in a recent interview on the subject of potentially coming back to WWE at some point in the future. Quote, of course the door is always open. I mean, we're in constant talks. When I had originally left, I was filming my first lead action movie, so that door is definitely one of those things that is always open, and I'm definitely down to always cause some problems and stir up some things, that's for sure. Let us know if you guys think WWE should bring Eva Marie back to the company in the near future, or would this be a mistake in your opinion, and that Eva Marie would not add that much to the women's division and should focus on her business ventures outside of WWE. Now, prior to WrestleMania 39, there had been lots of rumors and speculation going around that it would not be long before Trish Stratus would turn heel on Lita and Becky Lynch, thus setting up a major clash between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch for SummerSlam 2023. And while Trish remained on Becky's and Lita's side at WrestleMania, with the trio getting the big win over Damage Control, it sure did not take long for Trish Stratus to turn heel on Becky Lynch and Lita once the showcase of the Immortals was over and done with. And WWE have begun getting the feud between Trish and Becky underway well in advance to SummerSlam, which has left many fans to speculate that we may be getting more than one match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus this year. On Monday Night Raw this past week, Lita and Becky Lynch were scheduled to defend their Women's Tag Team Championships against the team of Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, but Lita was mysteriously attacked behind the scenes prior to their tag team title match, which resulted in Becky Lynch defending the Women's Tag Team titles with Trish Stratus instead. And ultimately, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Becky and Trish to become the new Women's Tag Team Champions, with Trish Stratus being the one pinned by Liv Morgan for Morgan and Rodriguez to get the win, which is very interesting as Trish Stratus was just a last-minute replacement and not officially one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. After the match, Trish wasted no time in finally turning heel and attacking Becky Lynch, thus officially kickstarting their rivalry in WWE this year. And by all means, a lot of wrestling fans are excited to see heel Trish Stratus return to WWE, and her feud with Becky Lynch has lots of potential. Now, it is safe to assume that Trish Stratus was the mystery attacker who got Lita injured behind the scenes prior to the tag team title match. And according to new backstage rumors, there is actually a good chance that sometime between now and SummerSlam, we may also be getting a Trish Stratus versus Lita match as well, so lots of interesting developments to come out of this storyline. Clearly, the feud between Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio is far from being done after Rey's victory at WrestleMania 39, and considering the insane amount of heel heat that Dominic Mysterio has still been generating after WrestleMania, a lot of fans clearly still want to see Dominic humbled by Rey Mysterio even more at a later event, and it appears as though Rey Mysterio himself is not finished with Dominic. In a recent interview, Rey Mysterio pitched the idea of finishing off his feud with Dominic by having a hair versus mask match, with this being what Rey had to say on the matter. Quote, "Maybe I put my mask on the line against his hair, which is some lucha culture. If I lose that, I take my mask off. If he loses, he shaves his hair off. That might be interesting." While the match is not official as of yet, Rey Mysterio had this to say, quote, "No, but I will pitch it out. I'll challenge him straight up." Let us know if you feel a high-stakes mask versus hair match would be a fitting final chapter in the Rey versus Dominic Mysterio storyline, and would this be a kind of match that you would be interested in seeing play out, especially if it is Dominic who's going to likely be losing to Rey Mysterio and thus losing his hair in the process, which would certainly generate a huge crowd reaction if and when it does happen. Now, there have been lots of rumors going around recently that the Visionary Seth Rollins has been very unhappy and upset with WWE over his treatment in the company over the past couple of years, with things basically reaching a breaking point following Cody Rhodes' return to the company and subsequent wins over Seth Rollins to push Cody Rhodes to the forefront of WWE and headline WrestleMania 39 this year for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Roman Reigns, a spot on the card that Seth Rollins feels he deserves way more than Cody Rhodes. The rumored tension between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes backstage in WWE is reportedly very real and not part of any kind of a work storyline, and by all means, a lot of fans cannot blame Seth Rollins for being angry at WWE, with most feeling as though Seth Rollins has been vastly underrated and underutilized recently, and should be getting way more opportunities and a big push into title contention, with lots feeling like Seth Rollins should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns of that Undisputed Championship. However, things unfortunately are not going to be changing for Seth Rollins moving forward in WWE, as Seth is apparently not factored into any of the major storyline plans for the rest of 2023, and according to a breaking new behind-the-scenes rumor, Seth Rollins is getting to that point of frustration right now in WWE that was very similar to Dean Ambrose a few years ago, and that Seth may be following in Dean Ambrose's footsteps out of WWE very soon. There is speculation that if things don't change soon, Seth will be asking for his release from WWE and choosing to walk out of the company over to AEW All Elite Wrestling, where Seth Rollins would finally join Jon Moxley. Seth Rollins feels he deserves way more than he's been given in WWE, and that the company has not given him the respect he deserves, so it is easy to understand why Seth Rollins is reportedly weighing the option right now to leave WWE and join a company that will utilize his talents much better, with AEW apparently being the company that Seth Rollins would want to join if and when he leaves WWE. Seth Rollins is still in the prime of his career and does not want to waste that by being undervalued and underutilized by WWE, and always playing second fiddle to the likes of Roman Reigns and now Cody Rhodes, so fans should not be surprised if Seth Rollins walks away from WWE much like Dean Ambrose did back in 2019 very soon if things don't change, and Seth is not given that big push. Now, of course, it is unlikely that WWE would want to lose a major star like Seth Rollins, so Vince McMahon and Triple H will likely try to convince Seth Rollins to stay. But regardless of the big money contract offers that WWE would likely try to use and convince Seth Rollins to remain in the company, at this point Seth Rollins is already well off and financially set, so it may not be about the money at this point, and Rollins simply wants to leave a greater legacy behind in wrestling than what's possible in WWE given his status and position on the card currently. Let us know your thoughts on the new backstage speculation that Seth Rollins could soon be leaving WWE and joining Jon Moxley in All Elite Wrestling if things don't change soon in WWE.